So what you guys have received, how many of y'all have received the paper? Okay, fabulous. Okay, some left. It's gonna reach you in a minute. The image that y'all are seeing right now was on the front page of TOI in Delhi and Bangalore about 2.5 weeks back.
2.5 weeks back. Yes.
2.5 weeks back. And apart from that, it was on OH, in print, etc. And once again, a similar one thread that will connect what you all have heard so far about ClearTrip and this piece of art that you're seeing right now is, in the first version, we saw ourselves innovating in print through technology. There is no technology in this ad, and yet it was on the first page of Times of India. And it is currently in Swiggy's history the most successful user-generated campaign so far. Before we get into what this is and what happened, etc., I think the best way to, in our experience, the best way to actually talk about this campaign is not talk about it, but instead just ask about it. Why is this a Swiggy ad? Take a few seconds, look at that closely. We can start with Kunal. Okay, fantastic.
So why is a Swiggy ad? Because Swiggy paid for it.
You gave the 2-mark answer. I'm looking for a 5-mark answer. That's a 2-mark answer.
The 2-mark answer. There's a Swiggy written on the print ad. Yeah, that's it.
You can
You never ask another brand manager about another marketing campaign. Check.
Yeah, hi. I think it's a Swiggy ad because I feel the astronaut is probably delivering something on a different planet or something of that kind.
There's one more.
Yeah, go for it.
I think this is a food-related ad because New Chowpatty, New Chandni Chowk and VV Puram in Bangalore are places where food restaurants are more.
So we got astronaut and we got the food delivery on another planet.
And the logo.
And
Yeah. So what I think is that see, it's not practically possible to deliver that Swiggy on food on another planet. But I think it's trying to portray that if it can reach to that planet, so in India it can reach to any place, something like that.
Is that your final answer?
Lock kar de.
Yeah.
Lock kiya jaye. Is that your final answer?
Yeah. Lock
Okay,
it.
great.
Hi. My first association, apart from the obvious clues, is the actors. They've already appeared in a previous Swiggy ad. The uncle who orders a rasgulla or gulab jamun, or who became really popular after the Swiggy ad. No, I mean, that was my first association, so that's what I remembered first.
Got it. Super. One more.
On the laptop screen, it is saying Rahul is arriving with your instant order and a Swiggy logo.
Could everyone hear him? He said because on the laptop screen it says Rahul is arriving with your Instamart order.
But his name is also Rahul.
I like how everyone's waiting for us to say that's right. That's Rahul. That's right.
Okay, this might sound silly, but I think it's because everything here is food. I mean, even the base is like, it's buns, right? Put there, and there's food everywhere. I mean, the mountains look like samosas. I don't know, what is that thing? It looks like baturas on top. And yeah, I mean, it's trying to highlight offerings of Swiggy, which is not just Swiggy, but also Instamart. So I think, yeah, it's just trying to get everything together. Yeah.
Why is
on the laptop screen, there is a QR code. I'm not sure about the implication of the QR code, but something is written like a cryptocurrency, sorry. So maybe if we scan the QR code, maybe we can get into similar lines.
The QR code took them to? Why is this a Swiggy ad, right? Yeah.
What is cryptocurrency?
Something related to cryptocurrency or something, I'm not sure.
This person on the right, she seems to be throwing what? Water. But who is she throwing that at? Yeah, so what's going on there? Okay, what's the fire?
Well, you didn't show that.
Who's getting grilled?
Somebody's.
Someone's getting roasted or grilled by the looks of it.
We are. Only we are. Let's break it to everyone.
Fantastic. Okay. Oh, someone seems to have.
She said that they're cannibals.
They're cannibals.
And that's
Share it with the
how-
rest of the class.
there's no food on that planet, so they need Swiggy to get them food, and they're trying to eat people instead.
Interesting. So why is there, like, in the back you see, what is that? What planet is that? In the back?
Earth.
Huh.
Earth.
That's Earth?
Yeah.
And what's that country?
India.
And what's coming out of Earth?
The delivery.
But
things.
something is being delivered.
The food.
No, just look near the planet. What's being delivered? Bisleri bottles.
Oh.
Right? Okay, so Bisleri bottles. How do you know they're being delivered to this planet and not being delivered from this planet? Okay. The astronaut is landing. How do you know this is the same person? How do you know this person has come to this planet and not going away from this planet?
How is he wearing a spacesuit but she isn't?
Everyone's like, why is this a panel discussion even?
Yeah. No, that's true. How is this person wearing the
Spacesuit.
and the others are able to breathe? So they are used to that atmosphere.
No travel. Clear trip discussion already happened. No.
Perfect.
So Aditya, the first question is, why did you have to make such an ad?
Why did we have to make such an ad? Okay, super. So what y'all have just collectively done right now is what Gen Z, I'd like to say, on the Indian internet, were doing for about a whole week, probably, right? So for about 8 days, right after this campaign kind of came out, I think what was our reach, Viren, finally?
It was a little over 32 million on the third day.
So there you have it. Those many people submitting their own fleshed out theories, fully fleshed out theories, keeping every single point in mind on why they thought this was a Swiggy ad.
And majority of them were like Kunal, okay? Kunal basically said, oh, it's posted by Swiggy. That's why it's a Swiggy ad. However, we ended up getting a whole lot of entries like Elon Musk, Mars,
Yeah.
interstate delivery, stuff like that, right? Yeah.
You just move to the next slide. So just a little sample of the kind of theories that finally came in. While Zomato is launching their intercity deliveries, Swiggy is doing interplanetary deliveries already. Well, why is this Swiggy ad? The laptop has a logo and the person is tracking order. Okay. So next slide. As soon as Swiggy got to know that Elon Musk अब Mars पे भी humans को बेचने वाला है, they made this food planet into Swiggy headquarters ताकि Mars पर Swiggy first mover advantage लेके market capture कर पाए. That's why it's a Swiggy ad. Okay. Next slide, sir. Yeah. वो सब ठीक है, but what is Jaya Bachchan doing in outer space? Oh, did any of you guys spot the totem? The Inception totem? At the bottom, right next to Jaya Bachchan?
Yes.
So what is that? What do you think that means? It's a dream. Okay, so moving on. Okay. I'm not sure. Kunal has a fake account called Bayankar Batra. Okay. Moving on. Launching NFTs, going to allow payment by cryptocurrency, food delivery, movie theater, starting a physical pop-up map, ordering food from different cities, starting an online stream, curated food selection. This person has no answers, only questions. Okay. Producing a food team movie, cloudy with the chance of sponsoring stage, preview of a Swiggy ad where this is all uncle's dream. All of this. Next slide, please. Okay. To a level where there was this one person, I mean, this is one out of like several who kind of went to this extent, but we want to play you guys there's one incredible standout video that this person made to talk about his theory. This is pretty much what we did. We kind of figured that, like we said, what you all saw about 20 minutes ago was print marrying with technology to create something. Here, what we have is print marrying with the simple, with like one very simple consumer psychology that all you need, all of the branding elements that you guys are talking about, right? Like, okay, there's this here, it's orange, oh, I see that it's gulab jamun uncle here, etc. All of that is intentionally put there to add credibility to the fact that this must be a Swiggy ad. No, there's food in it, there's gulab jamun is in it, this person's logo is there once or twice. So there's one part of our brain which looks as advertising as branding, because 80% of advertising is just correct branding elements right there, etc., all of that. But then where you get a little screwed is, but what's going on in this ad? Like, what is the actual story? Why are these people here? And that's when the real theories kind of start coming in. Happy to say that, Viren, correct me if I'm wrong, over 20,000 unique theories going up to 3-4 paragraphs in length at least across Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube by people aged between 18 to 25 was the majority. One of the things we told ourselves is Gen Z really needs to come of age for advertising. We've mostly been thinking that Gen Z is consumption. I mean, all we need to do is good social in order to get like today's 21-year-old kind of hooked. But no, the 21-year-old deserves a campaign of this scale. We've often told ourselves, and Viren will kind of talk about this point a little more as well, that Gen Z's attention spans are low. We've seen a demonstration in this room right now that low attention spans there are exceptions to that rule. And instead of just putting out advertising that basically say, this is why it's my ad, this is why this is, so much of the creative process in advertising, we're looking at coherence. We're looking at how exactly do you make something make very, very particular sense. You flip that around, you put something and you ask them, you know my brand, tell me, why is this my ad? And then just through that and through the stature of print, we were able to engineer, like we said earlier, Swiggy's most successful UGC campaign till date. There is an answer to why it is a Swiggy ad though, but we're going to keep that to the end of the presentation.
If the video.
If the video plays.
Till the video plays, you mentioned Gen Z obviously being targeted here, then why print? Apparently they don't read.
I think and again, like that's what I think, the hashtag for this is Vitasa. Vitasa is an acronym for why is this a Swiggy ad? So you just had to post with hashtag. So with Vitasa, I think it's the same as what happened with ClearTrip Royal. Like there is a certain myth about this generation that their attention spans are really low. And here's the thing, Gen Z doesn't hate ads, Gen Z just hates bad ads. People don't hate ads, people hate bad ads. The more we tell ourselves that people hate what we do, we are not giving ourselves incentive to actually get better. But you put good advertising out there, it works, people love it. People love it so much that there was a live stream which the team conducted. Over 1 million people on a gamer live stream discussing advertising. People who usually don't discuss advertising. 1 million people just, oh, maybe it's this, oh, maybe it's this. It's never happened before. This much of interest in what makes advertising has never happened before. And so I think we have hopefully been able to, if not break a few of those myths, bend it.
And just to his point, right? Like, I mean, it's a phenomenal crutch to say, hey, Gen Z doesn't read, why do we do this in the first place? Gen Z doesn't pay attention to videos, why do we make videos in the first place? It's a phenomenal crutch to use, but I mean, if you're able to engage them in the right way, we didn't want to snatch their attention, we just wanted to challenge their imagination with this. So the objective with print was, how do you make the print version of a thumb stopper, right? Like, how do you not see this and then, oh, is it a movie? Is it propaganda? Is it, yeah, hold it up. Yeah. What is it? What is it exactly that I'm looking at? And when you see it, you don't understand it. And then your mind immediately starts trying to make sense of what you're looking at, right? So it's not so much of like a bait and switch as opposed to like, why don't you tell us what it is you're looking at? And then, of course, the QR code and everything.
And it
does
also
that.
goes with the fundamental crux of the internet, right? I want to sound smarter than you. So everyone ran after each other to prove them wrong, right? Like, so we saw so many comments where people are putting out their theories and people are like, no, but this is missing, this is missing, this is missing. So that ended up giving us a whole lot more conversations that we anticipated.
And I think the best thing about Gen Z is, I mean, if you look at everything that they do, which is they'll take a real trend and make it their own, they'll take a tweet and make it their own. The same thing happened out here. Right? They took an ad and everyone had like their own unique theory on it, right? I remember there were comment threads where people ran out of character counts of their comments, replied to their own comments, ran out of character comments out there, replied to that comment. It was insane to look at. And again, Gen Z was in the comment section reading more than 6,000 comments I think we got on the first post, yeah.
Right. So the ad obviously had different Swiggy elements, like it was pointed out. How has it impacted the brand? I mean, it's obviously early days since then, but what's the impact been on Swiggy since then?
I mean, I think if you look at it from what the campaign sort of set out to do, which is, of course, build a lot of brand love. I think it's definitely ticked that box. Build a lot of brand conversation. Definitely ticked that box. In terms of, I think we had, if you typed why into your Google search bar during the campaign, one of the top 3 results would be, why is this a Swiggy ad? I think that's just a huge...
Above, why is Diwali celebrated?
Why is water blue?
Why is water blue?
People
Why is
wanted
the
to
sky
know,
blue?
yeah.
Why is this Swiggy?
Yeah. So the objective that we wanted to sort of, and of course we'll talk about like where this idea came from and why it existed in the first place, and about the totem and everything else. But I think that was one major sort of KPI, which is there's a lot of conversation that's already happening about the brand on social that we are not sort of sparking or starting. How do we consolidate all of that into one phenomenal campaign? If you look at it, there's no logo on the print ad either, right? But we still managed to do that, which is, I think, phenomenal, and credit to the team and whoever made this. Best kept secret. We chopped his hands at the end of it, so you can't do this again. I'm kidding.
So coming to you guys, you all have obviously won it all on digital. And now there are 2 campaigns which are obviously digital but print-led. Is this kind of giving you a different kind of positioning too?
I think.
Do you need that different kind of positioning?
Yeah, no, because I think one of the things the internet is not just on the internet. Like, I think all of us are where we can't help but be digitally inspired with anything, even Viren included. Like, I think all of us come from the same browser, so to speak, in our heads, right? But let's make no mistake, what ends up on the internet is stuff from the real world. So technically, everything that great advertising that we create on print or TV, etc., coming back onto the internet, and I think Pooja spoke about that for ClearTrip as well. You'd kind of see so far that line of thinking kind of moving across. That's also, I think, the truest thing we can tell ourselves on why all mediums need to slightly talk to each other. I think we've been having this fairly, we've been berating this point for a decade now on, oh, is print different? No, the role of this has to be this, has to be this. I mean, I think we get it, right, by now. If you're able to create internet-worthy advertising on ATL, I think that is now the new aim for all things ATL. Mountain Dew, I think, did a fabulous campaign where they basically, it was starring John Cena for Super Bowl a couple of years back. It was a television spot that ran, and they basically said, count the number of Mountain Dew bottles on the side. It was just like a platter of tons and tons of Mountain Dew bottles, and they're like, count it, tweet it, and tell us whatever it is, right? So some people want to end up watching that ad. The one that won Canline last year, once again, was a QR code by Coinbase, right? This is ATL work. But it's ATL work that knows that the internet exists. And a lot of times we've seen ATL work that almost doesn't, they're like, what? Oh, there's something, internet, the web? Okay, cool, let's put one QR code at the bottom of the ad then. That's not it. So any piece of ATL work that is aware of the internet and what the internet can do to it makes sense. They're not print ads, they're print-led viral opportunities. They're not TV ads, they're TV-led viral opportunities.
हमारी पृथ्वी ब्रह्मांड का सबसे खूबसूरत ग्रह। हजारों सालों से हमें यही लगता था कि इस पूरे ब्रह्मांड में हम अकेले हैं, बट अक्टूबर 2022 को सब बदल गया। ये है गुड गुड प्लैनेट। यहाँ के लोग हमारे जैसे ही हैं, बट साइज में थोड़े छोटे हैं, और इनका मेन काम होता है दूसरे प्लैनेट्स पे जाके फूड रिसोर्सेज की तलाश करना। उस प्लैनेट से कुछ लोग हमारे धरती पे आए और उनका मिशन था गैलेक्सी का सबसे बढ़िया फूड सोर्स ढूंढना। लकीली फॉर देम वो पृथ्वी घूमते घूमते भारत पहुंचे, वो भी दिवाली के महीने में। उनके फूड सोर्स के मिशन के नाम पे उन्हें दिवाली के पकवानों का भंडार मिला। काजू कतली, चिवड़ा, गुलाब जामुन, रसगुल्ला और बहुत बहुत कुछ। भारत के खाने का स्वाद उन्हें ऐसा भाया कि उन्होंने ठान लिया कि अब उनका फूड सोर्स तो भारत ही बनेगा। पर दिक्कत ये थी कि छोटा होने के कारण उनका स्पेस क्राफ्ट भी छोटा था, जो कि 100 किलो से ज्यादा खाना नहीं ले जा सकता था। वो बहुत परेशान हुए और बहुत खोजबीन करने के बाद उन्हें मिला अपना स्विगी, जो ऑलरेडी इंस्टामार्ट और चीनी जैसे सर्विसेज के साथ मार्केट में धूम मचा रहा था। अब तक ये मिनी ह्यूमंस धरती पे बिल्कुल अनडिस्क्लोज थे, चोरी छुपे रहते थे, पर अब उन्होंने अपने आप को स्विगी के फाउंडर श्री हर्षा के सामने डिस्क्लोज कर दिया। उनकी डिमांड थी एक IPC FDS सिस्टम बनाने की। अरे IPC FDS इंटरप्लैनेटरी क्रिप्टो बेस्ड फूड डिलीवरी सिस्टम। अपने फाउंडर एंड CEO ने तो मना कर दिया। इस पे एलियंस बहुत भड़के और फाउंडर को किडनैप करके अपने प्लैनेट पे ले गए। पृथ्वी छोड़ते छोड़ते एलियंस ने सारे ब्रॉडकास्टिंग सर्विसेज को हैक कर लिया था और बस एक ही मैसेज रन किया कि अगर गुडगुरु प्लैनेट तक इंडिया का खाना नहीं पहुंचा तो स्विगी के CEO को उल्टा लटकाकर नीचे से आग लगा के रोस्ट करके उन्हें ही खा जाएंगे। इंडिया में तो हड़कंप मच गया। CBI, डिफेंस, डोसा स्पेस एजेंसी, होम मिनिस्ट्री सब परेशान थे और टोमेटो सोच रहा था कि ये कौन सी नई मार्केटिंग स्ट्रेटेजी भाई। एनीवे, डोसा ने अपना स्पेस क्राफ्ट रिवील किया, जो इतने दूर स्पेस में जा तो सकता था बट रिटर्न नहीं आ सकता था। बट इसका भी सॉल्यूशन था। टाइम डायलेशन की वजह से गुडगुड प्लैनेट पे हर एक मिनट 1 साल के बराबर होगा, और इस टाइम को ट्रैक करने के लिए स्विगी की इंजीनियर्स ने डिलीवरी ड्रोन पे एक ऐसा कोड सेटअप किया जिस पे करंट ईयर स्पेसिफिकली दिख सकता था। टाइम डायलेशन का फायदा उठा के डोसा आने का इंतजाम कर सकती थी, और इतनी देर में गवर्नमेंट और स्विगी भी अपनी तरफ से सारे इंतजाम कर लेते। तो गवर्नमेंट ने अपॉइंट किया दुबे जी को एज अ मिशन हेड, पर इस सिचुएशन में एक बैकअप भी चाहिए था जो कि एक सिविलियन हो, एलियंस की डिमांड पूरी करके जो उन्हें खाना पहुंचाए, और मीनवाइल दुबे जी फाउंडर को रेस्क्यू करे। पूरे देश में एड्स चले पर कोई इंटरेस्टेड नहीं था, इतना अच्छा कंपनसेशन होने के बाद भी, क्योंकि मिशन इतना डेंजरस था। स्विगी वालों ने सोचा अगर खाने ने इतना बड़ा मैटर खड़ा किया है तो खाना ही मैटर सॉल्व करेगा।
And that was the reason why we were very impressed with this. But he's one of, I think, about a good over 100 people who kind of went till this extent to kind of do it. So
this is proper user-generated content, not.
How do you write a script for this?
How do you write a script for this? Yeah.
How do you write a script for this? It's impossible. And who would approve it? Not me.
I love the way how they went about actually briefing influencers on this campaign.
So I think the best thing about this ad, at least in my mind, is that even though we're asking you why this is a Swiggy ad, right? Everyone has their own sort of answer. Like there's no PG had a different answer when he pitched it to us. Pooja had one, Sanket had one, I had one. The beauty of the ad is that even though it says ad, it has no logo. It has no resolution that you can possibly find when you look at clues and stuff. Everyone makes it an ad when it sort of gets out here, when your imagination sort of starts getting activated, you try to figure it out. So effectually, everyone has a different version of the ad in their head. So we took that same sort of insight and went to influencers and were like, tell us why you think it's a Swiggy ad. And then they gave us an answer, and I'm like, you could do that. Why don't you just do that? How do you give feedback on someone's imagination, right? It's impossible to do that. But that was the brief. This is, I think, what PG keeps touting as the campaign with the least amount of feedback ever given. And that's possibly my fault. But next time,
Do we have time for a couple of more questions? Or no? Okay, so we'll end with one question. Why is this a Swiggy ad? I want to hear it from you all.
Why is it a Swiggy ad? After this half an hour session, final answer. Why do you guys think it's a Swiggy ad? I know. But I mean, you've seen this campaign. You really think you're going to get a straight answer from me? Like, you've been? You've been talking about Swiggy for the last half an hour. If it made you think about Swiggy, it's a Swiggy ad.
Oh, that's what it is?
That's what it is. Even you didn't know about it until then. And I think if you go on to this thing right now, there's an 18-minute video, which is what it kind of finally how it revealed it. Overall, I think now it's probably fair to say, though there will be people who will question this as well. Those who are really obsessed with this won't take this at the right answer. But this is a huge exercise in consumer psychology. It is, you are so convinced that there is a real answer here. Because that's how you've been used to being treated by brands. All brands treat you with utmost respect. Please, thank you, yes, this is exactly what, da, da, da. So you've already suspended that disbelief. You say, of course, Swiggy is not going to give me a trick question. Of course, there must be something absolute and real over here. And it's that suspended disbelief that makes you start thinking. And it's not like we did reward 10 winners, those who put in the most effort and those whose theories we really liked. But I think for the broadest part, it's what Viren said. You make it an ad in your head every time you think about it. And at a very core level, I think it reminds you of the simplicity of what advertising is supposed to be. It's just things that make you think about that brand. And I think while through a very, very complicated Aisa wala process, I think we've been able to remind people of that little simple truth of what it was.
And just bringing it back to the brand as the brand manager. I mean, every single answer, if you look at it in the comment section, is a very unique sort of insight into what Swiggy does for them. So some people had answers related to groceries. Someone said something about street food. Someone said something about interplanetary delivery. Someone said something about like time dilation and quick deliveries, delivering in the future, delivering using drones. Everyone answered basis what Swiggy sort of does for them. And I mean, that is where the sort of seed for this idea came out, because as a brand, we do so much more than just deliver stuff. Like the tweet that sort of sparked the brief was, opening and closing Swiggy is the new me opening my fridge and closing it, trying to decide what to eat. Right? That's not something that we told people to think about. That's something that we saw. So, I mean, when you're a brand that has that much cultural cachet that people are actually talking about you in ways that you haven't sort of asked them to, why not go out on a limb and make something like this, right? And it was just it's a practice in giving your consumer a little more respect in terms of, I'm not going to spell it out for you. I'm going to let you sort of spell it out for me, because your relationship with my brand is a very unique one. And at Swiggy, we're a very empathetic brand. And that's what we sort of wanted to tap into, this thing I call Swiggy culture. But yeah, that's it from me.
I'd like to thank Kunal, I'd like to thank Aditya, Viren, and you, Pooja and Sanket for this very interesting discussion.